for the agenda?
The only change that I know of was, the executive session for personnel went to 15 instead of 10.
I see that.
Okay.
I didn't think we were supposed to have any executive sessions this time.
We did it last time.
Well, that's a practice. We need to keep up with it.
Trying to make up for last time.
Yes. Any questions from the previous minutes or the check register? Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, please. Thank you. Partnerships.
Partnerships and outreach, so again, this is continuation, so each month, David and I are putting together all our points of contacts and meetings that we do, with outside partners or really anybody, to try and highlight to make sure that we are doing things we're supposed to say we're doing. And I broke this out onto a slide chart at the second, just kind of breaks down where we work with government agencies. We're also working with obviously a lot of the mainstream. We want to highlight on this one, the special this last month was the Marysville trip. We took a new mobile lab up to Marysville High School on a professional development day. Their superintendent, Valley Heights superintendent, the Rotary Club, and so also Randall, Marshall County, Don Landall was there, and his staff got to go through VR with us, and it was a really cool experience. And on a lot of teachers too, the various what we're capable of. We had a music teacher changing out a battery in a electric vehicle in VR. And he was just amazed by it, and we talked to students about his experience. So we're really excited about that. I think we're going to follow up with them with students coming in the spring. And that's of course tied with our Patterson.
I did see an interview of, who was it
The
that was
Marysville Rotary president did
Okay.
it huge.
He did a video, and then Andrew got to speak in that to you and share all the fun knowledge, what's inside the trailer.
Mhm.
We're really excited. I think we're finishing up kind of our soft open for the trailer when we've got our bearings on that. I think that one more part of the grant that we need to get these documented, those are the feature tech packs. And then we'll be real hard kind of going open in the spring, as the weather starts to get a little better. That probably we do one of our big high school things. So. A lot of good conversations. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Who is Signal University when you said?
Signal, it's Colonel Hill with. It's DES. They do all the CompTIA and IT certificates for the soldiers, the various ones. And they're the ones that reached out to us to see if we can put together some CompTIA trainings for them specifically. Kind of talked on that in the last meeting, but we'll move along with that at their pace.
See David everywhere. It's good.
Yeah.
He's young and has energy and enthusiasm.
and doesn't have anything, keeps him strapped to a desk.
I try not to, but.
And then, of course, in the parade where you saw our entry out there, 2 years in a row with best use of lights.
And it's taken a few years, and Neil couldn't be here tonight, he's got his kiddo, but we're really proud of where we come with that specific event, because the students did everything. In years past, you know, Neil and I, we do the cutouts on us, and students have any to do something. BGA students, plumbing students, IMT students all joined together. They cut that whole thing out of plywood. They painted everything, the colors, they got all the lights up, and it was really cool to see them all just come together. We said, okay, get all the lights out, organized, and trying to highlight the colors. And then they were like, oh, let's do the spinning wheels. Let's make candy canes, the windshield wiper. And we started talking, they started doing some foaming with the exhaust, and there's a fog machine in the front that they were all working on. And then a lot of them did end up coming to the parade. So it was really cool to really see that, you know. And then the program is just working. It's awesome.
All while singing Mariah Carey's Christmas carols.
A lot of Christmas. So many Christmas songs.
It just makes my ears hurt.
They were hilarious. Such a good time.
Faculty Senate, I think this is gonna be a really brief.
Don't say his name 3 times.
Again, some of the newer faculty are really, their passion, their enthusiasm, as well as their talent.
Did we lose any students in that program?
No.
Nope.
No, good, good.
It's a good shot of adrenaline, all college.
All right. Operations.
So on the facility side, we've been talking about the furniture rotation project for a couple months. Fully underway. We've got a lot of the ordering and all finalized and the shipping in place, and the majority of it should be landing over the Christmas break time. And seeds are gone, so we'll get it in rotated for when we come back in the spring. We've also got some parking parking space increases. We've extended the fence right out here to go clear to the back end, all the way to the gate in the back. And we're currently painting those and putting curb stops out. We're gonna be in about 22 spots. That's short-term assistance to help with our upcoming parking situations. We're gonna have to continue to investigate and come up with more ways for more spots, which is a good issue to have, but that's gonna kick the can down the road until we come up with the next phase plan there to get some more. Other than that, we're just kind of get things cleaned up for break. Another note, we're starting to work pretty closely with a lot of the programs, the program faculty, as well as those students when it lines up with their curriculum and works with their schedule, and we can keep them safe and not throw them in a situation that we don't want them to be in. But a lot of assistance with, some of our water systems, water meters, funds, and kicking in and using it as a teaching aid, and then having the students assistance, and then pulling contractors when we need it, and kind of getting them all looped together, which is really kind of nice. And positive experience for both us and the students and the program. So we're doing that with plumbing, electrical, basically name it, all of those programs.
I saw something about roof repair.
Yeah, it's probably either, is that the one? Yeah, so that's an old tarred roof.
Okay.
Can't think of the name off the top of my head, but they basically come in and did a repair instead of a full replacement. We have the quote number on when it needs to be a full replacement, but for now, there was a lot of old penetrations that are no longer being used. Pull those out, clean those up, retar, reseal, fix those up, fix all the guttering up, and just kind of got it up to back into good shape. Okay. For now, so it's working good all the weeks. We were having quite a few in there all.
And on the furniture, I don't recall on the bid, did that include them doing the setup on it like they did for this facility?
Yes, yeah.
Good.
That doesn't include the labor, they'll unpackage and assemble the desks and probably everything someplace. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that'll get it off your plate,
Yeah,
other than hurting them.
the other pieces and part of the building where we're doing some of the power desks, we had to look over the electrical. And luckily we have a new great electrician on staff that can look all that over for us to make sure capacity's good.
Yeah, no big updates this month. The next quarterly update will come in January, so everything's looking good as expected for the end of the year. I think you've already all heard that I am gonna be leaving. My last official day is January 2nd. But I will be staying on for 2 months and helping about 10 hours a week to get through taxes in January, and then just hopefully we'll have a new CFO by then, so I can kind of help show them some of the ropes, so.
I don't remember authorizing that. I'm sorry.
Also didn't.
I'm sorry.
Kinda, you know, she came into my office, I could tell something was up. I was relieved it wasn't, our funds were going.
Oh, it's just you leaving.
But here's the thing, I tell all of our employees, you know, I hate losing kids. Done the part for it. Everybody, you know, our folks do great. But she also has us in the best position ever for a handoff. Makes it more accurate, more transparent. Josh and Lee have both been working with her. We've had some decent applicant pool. We have a second interview with someone next week. But again, her work has been remarkable. She built off the previous, who came before her. Hate to see her go. She knows she's always welcome back. But, you know, a two-year college in particular, we tend to do a lot of training of people who move up in career opportunities. He's a rock star.
Well, it's congratulations, and you are gonna be very.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You want to say anything about your big event coming up later?
My other big event is I'm getting married.
And where, in case they want to attend?
In St. Lucia.
Yeah, I'll be.
Feel like a little long flight. Yeah, that's it.
While she's there, I've asked her to look into setting up a branch campus so that I can administer from like November through April.
See what I can come up with.
Questions for Kara? This is your last opportunity.
We'll be at the January board meeting.
Oh, okay.
The audit will be presented then, right?
Yeah, they said it should be done, I think, within a couple of days. So they said we'd have a week to finish reviewing everything.
Okay.
That way we'll be done by January.
I had a good interview with Travis.
Oh, Taylor.
Taylor.
One note to add is, just from seeing it from my perspective and Lee's, you know, we're gonna be okay, we're in okay shape, but give us a little grace maybe on the dashboard. And some of the board reports that we come out with. Give us a little yeah. I was thinking maybe.
He just got it.
We'll figure it out.
We will be transparent with you as to how we can.
We understand. Or I understand. David, and John, you know.
What do you mean? Academics, nothing.
Yeah, in fairness, this is that time of year where everything is just winding down, so there's not a whole lot of updates. We do have submissions for the electrical program and the peer support specialist. So working on pages, see all of that, but in terms of, we're just wrapping up day-to-day operations. Graduation's on Saturday.
The smaller commencement, as you know, it's mostly the lineman students and we have probably double digits for PhD students. So fairly quick. Policies.
So future these will probably be in the consent agenda, but we're going through, it's kind of this ongoing effort of cleaning up policies and procedures and everything, and the field trip policy is from like 2007. We have a great procedure that's already in place. The policy doesn't.
So on like field trips, Habitat for Humanity and all of them, is that considered a field trip?
That probably falls more under the lab section of programs. So that would be, Field trip for us is more like co-curricular, you're often serving and you're going out and it's like the other ones you're typically working on, so. That would really be. Good question.
We've had the EVD people come up to like Jeffrey Energy Center. I've done tours for them out there.
Yeah, and a lot of times what we just ask that the construction spaces, that's a known state size. What we want.
Good.
Food services, then
Real quick, and he'll do more in January, so he and Laura in particular, working on that slate implementation of the software. He's hitting his timelines, it's a lot of work with him. Maybe with inroads, I know with Haley Banks, with Josh and his crew quite a bit, there's a lot of behind the scenes, third party stuff. Fortunately, he has the talent, the skill and the knowledge to do a lot of the magic, so one of those things you're not going to see the benefit of very clearly right away. Building a very comprehensive approach for us to be more automated and efficient with both data and services.
Rich and Laura, my wife read a news headline or something regarding nursing.
There's no longer a professional degree according
Yes.
to the administration in Congress, and the big beautiful bill, we understood that was in there. It really affects nursing at the bachelor's degree and above.
Mhm.
Less impact on us. Blowback is happening.
I just didn't
In the
know how
fine
we were
print.
going to be affected. Huh?
In the fine print somewhere.
In the fine print.
The other fine print thing in this new round of FAFSA, the financial aid application students fill out. Institutions are finding out there's a clause in the new FAFSA that if the institution's average salary basically in a certain program does not meet equal to what a high school graduate would pay, they may not get federal financial aid. And they have a list of all the institutions. Laura shared it with me, and the Kansas ones, all of the traditional higher ed institutions, it's not a problem. You get some of the proprietary like Bellis and a few Arbor colleges and stuff, then it's a problem. Well, Laura said that's going to happen more and more, and I don't think it's a bad thing if we're not helping people get wages. Then you may at certain points hear something on resource development. I'm going to talk more about that in the president's report with Harry, Chris, and Josh chiming in. Governance, we get a little bit of a break this month. So why don't you pull up the other document first? So Bryant, Chris, Rachel, David, they took kind of that pamphlet we've had, that real good handout. But Harry worked very well with the new branch president in trust and one of the regional folks. And they've been in for a couple visits, and they're interested in looking at what could they do to partner with us. So this document, this is an unbranded one as far as it doesn't say interest, but the one we gave them has interest in certain places. But I want you to see this. And Harry, don't hesitate to come off mute and chime in. You can go through the next page. We're giving everybody an overview, but we see this as a document to use with some major donors on several projects. And you're going to see kind of a list here. But we're really, first off, emphasizing our performance. And our performance is incredible. The national rankings we have, the state ranking, the keeping graduates in the state. So this document, if you think of people that we might need to talk to, whether it's a business, whether it's an individual, some kind of group, we talk about these things related to what we do. It gets on to the next page. Sorry. There, yeah. This one's where, here's that proof record as far as rankings and achievement. Aspen Institute. We're in the mix, and thanks to Pam and Chris and Kim Withroder and others, we have submitted the paperwork for consideration. Their top prize is $1 million. Will we get it? Oh, we'll try. Wallet Hill, we're number one in Kansas every year since 2018, top 5 since 2022. I'm more impressed with the Georgetown one that's scrolling up there now from the return on investment, looking at the students' career earnings. We're never worse than 3rd against all public colleges and universities in Kansas. We have a pretty consistent high salary earnings for our folks. There you see 96% plus job placement, 87% stay in the state. Well, I can actually tell you, depending on which way you read the KBOR, what they call the KTIP report, that jumps to as high as 93% of our graduates stay in the state. All depends on which data set you want to look at. Worst case is 87. Student debt less than 10,000. So then here's comes the menu, if you will. So one of the possibilities is naming rights for this building. Another one is getting into the credentialing part that we're working on our professional credit side, non-credit side, that the employers want. We're throwing out the idea of the health science facility. Get some, see where the buy-in is on that. Getting more endowed scholarships, both for non-credit and credit. The adult education thing again, right now in Congress, the House took away all funding. The Senate left level funding in their budget bills. Now it's got to go to a conference committee. I'm still going to bet funding probably doesn't happen for adult ed. And the state funding is tied to federal funding. So I keep telling Chris and the folks, just plan on nothing. But the good news there is that we don't have to do it their way. But how do we keep that going? So this document, and I'll have Susie send it to all of you so you can look at it more closely. Like I said, we think this is a pretty good thing for us to use as we talk to potential donors. Harry, if you're on, why don't you jump in and give a little bit from your perspective on the meeting with interest?
Well, it's clear, working with those folks, obviously they made an initial contribution to the ATC of 125K. So they believe in what we're doing, and they were at the groundbreaking ceremony. But these two individuals, the Tony Parker, who is the president here in Kansas or in Manhattan, and Kurt Fisher, who's his regional president based out of Kansas City, they see the incredible value that this institution means to return on investment. And they're getting ready to celebrate their 150th year in the baking business. I think 6 generations of the Chandler family. And I do believe that we have an opportunity to get a stretch contribution from them. I talked with Tony after the visit, and he was very high on not only in terms of our presentation, but the materials. I do believe that this is a document that could be shared with anybody. I mean, all of the 5 options that we have illustrated in this document can pertain to anyone. And now the next step is to, okay, what makes sense, what matches up with their mission and vision for their business in Manhattan, and then we'll just take it from there and see if we are able to garner some support. We stretched them. I mean, there are a couple requests there from $4 to $5 million in terms of naming rights on the ATC versus the possibility of a healthcare facility. But I think all of those options could be true to any individual who would hire students from our institution.
Thanks, Harry. So again, kudos to our folks who put that together. It really emphasizes again, performance, what we can do. Questions or comments? Everybody's looking for resources, so I think that builds on it. One of the things that separates us and most of the tech colleges from the rest of higher ed, something legislators have said to me, when you guys say you're going to do something, you already did it, you've proved it. A lot of meetings federally. I was in DC for a weeks ago, and God knows that it's a total flip a coin. What's going to happen? It changes hourly. They haven't really touched federal financial aid, but they're gonna try to push more of what we do through the Department of Labor. K-12 funding.
Question back on,
Document.
we'll look at the document. Do we have any data that looks forward for workforce requirement?
To a degree, we look at the Kansas Department of Labor projections.
Is it credible enough that we can find a way to add something about? We tell them, where we've been and where we are, but how
Or goals.
it's getting more important, not less important, and solve the problem that just plays out.
Yeah.
I'll
That's a
work
good comment.
offline with Harry, but it just strikes me as it's nice where we've been and it's nice where we are, but if you want to get money, we got to know where we're going and prove that it's viable.
So, a little over a year ago, we joined an outfit called Alliance for Innovation Transformation of Education, which gave us the idea for the VR. The executive director of AFIT reached out to me about 6 weeks ago for a 10-minute phone call. And she's working on a new moonshot initiative on financial prosperity. It's a pilot. She needs 7 of her member colleges to do it. It really cost us $12,000, 26. Along with the other 6 that she's targeted, we will get to work with McAllister and Quinn. Not just public funding, but private and corporate funding. We'll have access to their intelligence reports, other things, discounts on other services. But we're taking a hard look at going after that and saying what do you do, especially looking at the corporate side. But yeah, that data, that's one of my ongoing battles with K-Board, to start looking forward instead of back.
We don't need to, I didn't mean to take a lot more time up. It just struck me as I was kind of thinking about what this said.
Well, and with that, one of the other projects we're on is we've mentioned before, we're one of 8 community colleges in the country on Lumino about adult learner initiative. And these folks, not me, but they've been involved in the discussions, and we have access to these databases with the 4 or 5 state area where we target. And they are paying for marketing campaigns, a couple of pilot campaigns. But one of the things with the adult side is one of these campaigns is get that 60 credit hours, get that AAS degree, but it may be made up of 2 or 3 certificates of different skills. It may not just be one program, it could be either. Again, that goes back to your point. You look around here at the companies that do plumbing, heating, HVAC, electrician training, it's that they do all 3. So how do we get our programs to work with those folks and our students can come out qualified in all 3?
Excellent.
Well, and I think, Kim, you probably have that report, nursing workforce report too, with that option number 3, just it gives you all the data's there.
Again, most of what we train people to do cannot be taken over by AI. Hammering that pretty much. But for me, been busy. A lot of sausage making. Okay, still on the speed.
Hey,
record.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, if you got just one other thing that kind of mirrors what John is asking, and that's related to, the vision and the future of this institution. And I think the non-credit piece that we've been talking about over several months now, where individual businesses that need a specific set of training where we can, sit down with them and craft a curriculum and actually help them, improve their performance of their employees. I was really intrigued with our conversation with the Entrust folks because that really caught their ear. Beyond just the traditional things that we do with our programs. And I do believe that the non-credit piece has some real legs. I think it has a real opportunity for us to meet the needs of any business that's going to hire our employees or students. And I think they were intrigued with, the examples where, that we talked about with Manco, Florence, and others. So in terms of looking towards the future, I think that is a piece that resonated really well with them, and they see the value in it.
So sometime in the spring, later in the spring, going to give you a peek into the future. What we think it should be. Frankly, I think 60% of the potential of this place with revenue, serving people, et cetera, is on what I'm gonna start calling professional credit. It's non-credit, but frankly, the academic side at our level isn't as much in demand as far as can we just give people credible skills, validated skills. One other thing, looking forward to AFIT in 2026, Pam and I got a bit of a sneak peek. I got more of a sneak peek than she did. It will be in Albuquerque this year, working with Central New Mexico Community College. New Mexico is designated as a quantum state by the feds. They're one of the quantum computing. We will get some ways to interact with them over there. There's some instances of the quantum computing and AI. Yeah, we don't think of a tech college.
That offline again, I'll talk to you because we're doing a lot of stuff out in the state. I have one other question. When you met with Senator Starnes, you just kind of leave it as though we discussed that. Did he give you any hope of
Yeah,
restaurant?
I'm gonna get into that in a bit.
Okay.
That was gonna be my question too.
Thanks, Harry.
You bet.
I think we're ready for the first exec session on finance. And the folks that are in here, you can all stay if you want.